Hey YouTube fam, it's your girl Leah back again with another video. In today's video, as you can see from the title, it is a chit chat Q&A video. Now, if you aren't following me on other platforms, you should, but on Instagram, I let you guys know outside of YouTube, my real job, it is the busy season for me, and I decided to ask you guys to ask me some questions over there. In that video, I said I was going to make a chit chat get ready with me video, but you guys asked some pretty good thought-provoking questions that I was like, I am not going to be able to concentrate and do my makeup at the same time. So I'm going to already do my makeup and answer some of these questions. It's been a while since we've had a conversational type video and you guys were looking forward to that. So you guys asked me a bunch of questions over there and I have them and I'm ready to answer, but I said to make it fun, let's like drink. Let's make a little mimosa. So I got my prosecco. My prosecco of choice when I'm making my at-home mimosas is this brand from Publix. And then I always am a simply orange type of girl. So I don't have my like mimosa like glass, so I'm just gonna use a wine glass. Pour it up and get into the Q&A and these juicy questions. Now I will put timestamps down below for people who want to skip around, but know that I can see when you move to certain areas. So people who are like, I want a housing update, I want a financial update, I want a dating update, I want a kids update, I want all these types of updates. This video typically brings out the nosies of the world. So I can see who wants to see what part, but let's pour this mimosa up and let's get started with you guys' amazing questions. This hits right here. Now, I know this was supposed to be a chit chat get ready with me video, so for the people who thought it was going to be that, I will just run quickly through a couple of items on my face. Foundation is the Makeup Forever HD foundation. I love that for filming. I have the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base on as my primer. I do have the Hourglass concealer under my eyes, and the most frequently asked question is always what's on my lips. I love Anastasia Sepia, but today I paired it with, I don't even know if they really even make this, but this is the Kylie Metal Matte lipstick on top, and then just a bit of the NYX butter gloss. It's clear, but probably got a little bit of pigment in it because I always mix it or I always put it on top of like when I'm wearing browns and stuff. Lashes today are just these randos that I got from Amazon. I've only used them twice, so I'm getting used to them. They're very thin band, which I'm not usually a fan of, but they are the lashes I have on. So that is brief. If you guys have any other questions about anything else on my face, let me know, and hopefully future me who's editing this video will remember. So the first question that I got on my Instagram was what hair I have in. The same hair I had in that story, it's the same hair I have in right now. It's the Lulu Tress braid out hair. Right now it has been 2 weeks of wearing this hair. As I'm filming this, install hasn't gone up, should be up now as you're watching, so I'll link that up above. The next question I got was really good. Would you consider yourself task oriented generally? You seem to be so well organized in your life, and I would have to say 1,000% resounding yes to that. I would consider myself task oriented. I was looking back the other day at my calendar. I used to use my old Gmail from when I was at NC State, go Wolfpack, and I would have my computer and my physical agenda at that time. And I was looking back at my actual electronic, and I would write down everything from if I was watching TV shows, if there was events going on, classes, of course, but I would put my study times and my study breaks in there. That's how I was 14 years ago. I'm still that same exact way. I'm not a fly by the seat of my pants type person. And I think if I was, I wouldn't be able to juggle both doing this and work outside of this and family time. I would be discombobulated. I envy those who can kind of just go, don't need to write things down, can just kind of know where they need to be. I could never be that type person. I struggle when there is no structure. I am not the late friend. Don't mind a late friend, especially if I'm hanging out with other people in a group. If you're the late person, I never judge the late people, but I am definitely I like to be on time. I like to make sure that I have things organized in a way that I can keep time straight in my mind. And then you guys know I have my side business, Winnie and Willow, which is my planners and all of that. So I've taken something I love personally. I've been a planner person since they were agendas in high school and middle school. They were agendas, and then I became a planner person, and now I'm a digital planner person. I love that, and it keeps me organized. I can't wait to come out with 2024's digital planners. But speaking of trying to be task oriented and organized, an announcement that I want to make in this particular video is that I will be going down to one upload a week. I don't know until when. At first I said I was just going to do it through September because it's a busy season in work, but then I was like, what happens if I extend it past September? I know that's almost like shooting yourself in the foot in YouTube terms, but I don't want to overwhelm myself. And that's something that have been struggling with, is even though you're task oriented, there are only but so many hours in a day, and you want to be able to sleep, and you want to be able to turn your brain off, and you want to be able to watch shows, and you want to be able to enjoy other areas. And when you work Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5, and then you have to flip on another hat and be a YouTuber from so and so and so and so time, it doesn't leave a lot of areas of your life where you can have a little bit of fun. So just for, we'll see how long it goes. I might upload more when things change a bit, but I am going down to one upload a week. I just want to focus on this year. I had so many goals I didn't get to do. I was supposed to take the SHRM CP test because I took PHR last year. I wanted to take SHRM CP test this year while PHR was still fresh on my mind. Didn't get to it. Swim lessons this summer. Summer is over. Didn't get to it. Winnie and Willow, I wanted to start working on that back in September so I could have my planners ready by a certain date. Didn't get to it. I think them things fell behind because I was trying to juggle too much. And so I think if I just make the compromise a little bit in my upload schedule, it should help a bit. But moving on, the next one was interesting. Do you consider yourself a D-list celebrity? And how do you process that you're known all around the world? I do not consider myself a D-list celebrity, a F-list celebrity, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, Z-list. I don't consider myself anything because I'm so focused on, like, outside of Lia Lavon, I am still a fully fleshed out human. Again, you guys see 2 videos a week, 1 video a week coming soon, but you see so little of it that I think outside of this, it's very normal for me. I live like a very regular, degular, smegular girl life. Like, I just talk about crochet hair to an audience, but then I turn this camera off and I'm like going to where I work a real, like a full-time job on top of this. Like, if I was a celebrity, I shouldn't be working no full-time job. Even D-list celebrities, I don't think were full-time jobs. I consider, like, in my mind, D-list celebrities are like Sheree Whitfield or like the cast of Real Housewives of Atlanta. Maybe they're C-list, maybe they're B-list. I don't know where they fall. But to those people, they don't have full-time jobs. Their whole job is their celebrity. I am not in that world at all. Lia Lavon is who you guys see. I'm Talia, every single time after this. So some questions I got asked a couple of times in different ways. So was purchasing a house soon, dating life updates, which I'll get to in a moment. And are you enjoying the increased office days? Someone else asks, are you having any luck with your housing journey with the way the market is? And then someone else asks, are you still looking to purchase a home/condo? So the home owning thing was a very popular question because if you're newer here, I've shared in the past that I was really wanting home ownership. Like, I wanted it really bad. I still want it really bad, but the interest rates and the market. I mean, we all know the market. We know the interest rates, and I live in Charlotte, so the market itself is just outrageous. If I had some desires to move outside of the Charlotte city limits, I think it'd be a bit easier. But I love where I live. Like, I love where I rent. I want to buy where I rent. I just want to buy a home in the next development that's right over. It's near everything I want. Even when I evaluate other areas of Charlotte where I want to live, I live in South Charlotte. I just don't want to live in the north. I don't want to live in the west. I don't want to live in the east. I want to live in South Charlotte. But South Charlotte, whether it's southeast or southwest, is it's expensive. It's costing some money. It's costing a little bit of coinage. And I don't want to settle. I don't want to get locked into a 7% interest rate. I want what I want. And it's just the battle of that. I've been stacking my coins. I've been stacking my down payment. Trust and believe. Your girl's still saving. I got a financial question in here, and I'll get to it in a second. But your girl's still been stacking and saving. But, the range that I'm in, back, you asked me this 3 years ago. I could have comfortably gotten a townhome. I know the question said house or condo. I'm actually wanting a townhome. And I've been wanting a townhome. I think I've even said it in prior videos. I want an in-unit townhome though. I don't want kind of those windows because I film and I require so much natural lighting. I think having three sides of windows is just best for me. I want either a fenced in backyard or the ability to fence in a backyard. I want, the pool and all of that stuff, the lawn care taken care of. That's going to come with HOAs. I don't want a high HOA, but HOAs are HOAs and they're going to be what they're going to be. I have my desires list. I want 2 bedrooms at minimum, preferably 3 with 2.5 bath. I do want the ability to have hardwood on that first level. I just want certain things. Like, I could go on in details about what my desires are. My desires I could have gotten for maybe 250 to 300,000 if I had purchased in 2019, 2020, really early. And now the same homes that I'm looking at, like that I pinned back in the 2020 days, are roughly, they're not bad, but they're like 350, 375, you know, which is a little bit more, but again, it's gonna come. Trust me, it's gonna come. I've been renewing my lease here because I'm not moving out of here to move into another apartment. When I leave this place, I'm moving into a home. It is the area I want to be in. I just want to own in this area, and it's coming. It's 100% coming. The original question said, "Am I enjoying more in office days?" If you follow me on Instagram, we've bumped the ante on our in office days. I think right after I came back from London. I enjoyed my London and Paris trip. Came back that Monday, our team meeting. Yeah, we're gonna have to bump that on up, which I kind of figured was coming. You see the industry. I see a lot of companies going to more in office days. I knew I was always an outlier with only 1 day in office. And I loved it. I loved it when it was just 1 day. I don't mind now that we've bumped it up. I have friends who started new jobs in the pandemic. I've had the same job since pre-pandemic. So I've been at the same company for 5.5 years now. So I've been there pre-pandemic when I came in 5 days a week every single day. And I know what that's like. And I, of course, didn't know life was going to change until March 2020. That was going to be my always life, I figured. And then March 2020 threw a wrench in it and allowed for more hybrid. I'm still a hybrid. I'm not 5 days in. So I think I have a little bit more like, well, I remember how it used to be. This is better than it used to be. I still get some days at home. It is harder. So some days wake up later, some days wake up earlier. It's more that I have to think about, but I do like being around people. I actually enjoy my colleagues. If you follow me on Instagram, you see we go to lunch for the most part. When we would come in once a day, we always went to lunch. Now that we come in more, we're like, we can't go every single day. Although if I had it up to me, I'd go out more, child. You just gotta tell me the word and I leave my lunch at the table. Okay, the table the lunch can be ate later. Dinner. I'll go out with you because I like it. I like the camaraderie. I like talking to them. It's cool with me. It's cool. I know that's not everybody's reality, but I think it's important for my mental that I enjoy what I do. I enjoy my work. If I didn't enjoy it, I'd leave. If we went to 5 days, child, the conversation would be a bit different. Be a bit different. But the next question I thought that was in that same family was, how are your finances going? Are you debt free? If you know, maybe 2 years ago, I was doing my debt free journey or my financial journey videos, and then I stopped just because one, nosies were nosing more than nosies had ever nosied before. The nosies was nosy, honey, coming through for the tea. And then two, it was also repetitive. Like, all I was doing, I had gotten rid of credit card debt at that time. So my only debt was student loans, and I was just paying those down. So the videos weren't really, I guess, enthralling. Like it was better when I was paying off my car, but I paid off my car through that. I paid off my credit cards, and then every month would just be, well, I'm paying down my student loans, paying down my student loans, put this much towards my student loans. And so I just stopped doing them. But my finances and debt free journey is still going incredibly well. Again, same thing that it was in the past. My only debt is my student loans. I don't have a mortgage yet, no credit card, no car loan. It's just my student loans. And I have been paying them ever since the like stoppage. I know we've been in forbearance. We just restarted what this month, or October 1st is when it starts becoming. Child, is the mimosa getting to me, honey? October 1st is when it starts becoming due, but I have been paying ever since my financial journey video. So what has it been, a year and a half? I've paid my student loans every month as if I had to pay them. It's been great to take advantage of the fact that there's no interest on them. I think when I started my financial journey videos, I was at roughly $17,000 in student loans. Now I'm at 11,000. So I've paid off maybe $5,000-6,000 over this last few years. My goal is to be done by 2025. So 2 years from now, I shouldn't have this 11,000. I want to pay off remaining. Really, I want to be done by December 2024. That's my goal. But I still want to travel. I still want to live a life. I'm comfortable with that being my only debt, because my debt to income ratio for buying a house doesn't look bad with that just being my only debt. I think my income is pretty good on paper, as well as that being my only debt and expenses. Really, I look good to a lender in terms of credit score, because y'all know I don't mind telling y'all my business like that, because I came from a place where it's not braggy. I was down bad in terms of credit score. Right now I'm at 761 if you look at TransUnion. I'm at 758 if you look at Equifax. I've been working ever since my financial journey videos a while ago to get to 800. If you look at the last year, I screenshot my video of the last year. I have been somewhere between 751 and like 760. I have not got out of the 50s to 60 like fives in the last year. This is a look at my last year. It looks like it ebbs and flows a lot. That is really just between, if you look at the bottom number, it's really just between 760 or 750 something to 60 something. Like it literally has been in that same bracket, because I thought, I should be getting 10 points every single month. And I don't do anything but just pay and pay and pay and pay. I think it's really my age of credit that can only help it right now, because again, my credit card utilization doesn't matter to the situation. My payment history is at 100%. My number of accounts, I'm in a good area for number of accounts. I think it's just my years, and I did get 2 credit cards in this last year. I did get the Amex Gold, and then I got the Chase Sapphire Preferred. And I think I got this in late 2022. I got this in early 2023. And, your credit age takes your oldest accounts, which are my student loan accounts, which when I pay those off, I hope that doesn't affect things negatively. Ugh, I didn't even think about that. But those are my oldest accounts at 15 years. And then I have my youngest accounts, which is a couple months ago. So when you average that together, it does make my credit age, I guess, a bit younger on the credit age side. So that's why I think it's hard for me to move. But I'm going to be at 800, girl. I'm going to be at 800. 800, I'm coming for you. So I can have my 800 credit, my low debt to income ratio, my high down payment ready to be put down on a house. I'm trying to be in the best place, so when that buying that house comes, I've done everything I can to be squeaky clean. So next is, what is your profession? I want to say thanks. Crochet on vacations has been life. So my profession is, and I was coming back, or I was on the road when I posted this story. So got some questions about profession. So I know people are interested in what I do. I'm the talent manager of our early career program. So that means I manage our internship and our co-op program at my company. I work in manufacturing, so a lot of that is engineers. We need engineers real bad in manufacturing, and that's chemical, mechanical, electrical engineers. So we go to schools that have engineering programs, some that have specific engineering programs to what I do. So sometimes you guys are like, why don't you go to this school? Why don't you go to this school? if it was up to me, it's only one me, but there's hundreds and hundreds of campuses throughout. I need to go to one schools that have locations that are near our manufacturing sites because they have a greater chance of relocating back home and working at home. If you work in manufacturing, it's kind of rural. Sometimes you can't be in downtown Charlotte and have steam, water, energy. Manufacturing can smell sometimes. All of that, you can't have that in metropolitan areas, so they are in rural parts of the country. So we go to schools that are kind of close to the rural parts, as well as schools that have the exact program that we have. I got a question about, I thought career fairs are usually in the spring, or is this for fall career fairs? September, as I've always mentioned, is a heavy, heavy recruiting month for me because there are a lot of fairs. There are lots of fairs that happen in the fall. So for us, fall recruiting season is where we try to fill our classes. So we try to fill our intern class by going to fall career fairs. We do go to some spring. If you've ever noticed, some spring I am out and about, usually in the March, February time frame, but it's a little less frequent than it is during this period. Honestly, I would love to fill everything in the fall. Fall, the career fairs are typically all of September and then early October, depends on when school goes back in. And they are usually the bigger career fairs. As I'm posting this, I'm probably at NCA&T or NC State. I don't know. Both of those are a week apart from each other. And those are huge 2 day big blowout fair where there are NCA&T's is in two separate buildings this year because it's so huge. The fall fairs are usually that huge. Spring is still big. It's just a little less because most companies do want to fill their talent early on. And I know for students, this is only a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks they've been in school. They ain't been in school that long, so they might not be thinking about it. But those who are very proactive try to go to those fall career fairs. So if you watch me and you have a child, because I think a lot of my audience is probably the age where they might have a college student. And also, I might have a couple of college students watching me right now. If you are fall into that bucket, I highly urge you to go to fall career fairs. Don't skip spring career fairs either, because there are a lot in the spring too. Don't feel like I'm left over or I'm not going to get picked if I'm in the spring. We just recruited someone spring of 2022 who has been a phenomenal intern for us and did an amazing job. He's this bright engineer. He's going to go very, very far, I'm sure of it. And he was in the spring. So sometimes people aren't ready to interview and ready to get themselves out there until the spring. So we do go to some spring fair, but we do try to fill a majority of our slots in the fall so that we can just focus on preparing for the summer and the spring. The next fun question I'm gonna need to sip on in just a bit. Do you still date online? Or are you dating someone right now? I got this question again in a couple of ways as well. Have you tried the online thing again? If you watch me, I tried it in the past. The short answer to that is no. I have not done online dating again. I don't think I am. I don't have plans to. It's not. It was fun. I get it. When I did it, I was highly encouraging people to try it. Like I was very much so about that life. I was like, I mean, I didn't have any bad experiences with it. I think it was just time consuming and it became like a job. It became like okay, I'm Talia and I have to do my 9 to 5. And then I'm Lia Lavon and I have to do this. And then I'm Talia meeting someone for the first time and going through the first date. It became a third element. Oh, and then I'm trying to do again, I'm task oriented. And the task, it became a task, it became a job, which I know it is a job dating and navigating in this world, but I'm in the phase of my life where whatever happens, happens. Whatever happens is going to happen. I can't force it. I've never been, and my friends can contest to this, I've never been the boy crazy person. And not to say anybody who's like actively dating is boy crazy, but I've been the friend who my friends have had boyfriends and I've just been cool. I've been like, I'm chill, I'm chill. I've never forced a thing. Like it's just happened naturally, I guess. I don't know. And I think it's not been a big deal for me too because I came from a very relationship minded family. My grandfather, as you know, recently passed this April, but him and my grandmother were married for 56 years. I might be all 57 years. So do not quote it to the mind. It's over 50 years. I'm gonna say 56 or 57 years. But they've been married for a long time. My mother's been married over 20 years. I grew up seeing husbands and wives commingling. I've grown up in a very marriage minded um I guess environment, and it didn't force me to be like I need to get married, because both of my mother and my grandmother both got married in their 30s, so they didn't even get married at super young ages, like 20s, or like the time when it gets like, oh my God, I'm getting anxiety, I'm not married by 30. Both people I know didn't get married till past 30. It's been that way, so it's never been a rush. Like I never thought I'm going to get married at 21, because I didn't see that in my life. Like it's a hard thing to answer. Not saying I would never, never, never do it again. It just, I didn't have any bad experiences. They were lovely. I'm somebody, if I don't feel it, a vibe, I don't want to go on a second date. Like my time is precious. So if I didn't feel it, I should give more second dates. But if I don't feel it, I'm like, all right, nah. In the same family, someone said, thoughts on coffee date as the first date? Are men just cheap now? I've never been on a coffee date as a first date, but I've been thinking ever since I got this how I would feel about it. And I feel like I'm on the fence. Now, again, I've been on a lot of good first dates. My first dates locations have been like Bonefish Grill was one, Mimosa Grill here in Charlotte, Mama Ricotta's is a place here in Charlotte. Um, I've been to Sullivan's, which is a nice steakhouse, really good steakhouse. I've been to, I think I've even been to another steakhouse too. Morton's. I've been to, what's that macaroni place? Macaroni Grill, is that what it called? It starts with a R. Maybe the drink is getting to me now. Something macaroni grill. Like I've been to like restaurants that are very good, that are mid range, that I think are high range. I've been to like so many different places. I've never been on a coffee date though. I don't think I'd be opposed to it. I just don't like coffee outside of home. If I'm drinking coffee, I need to be in my home, because they do something to my the stomach be making some noises, and I might need to get a water or something. So coffee as a date for me, it just my stomach. Oh, my stomach. I'd prefer drinks. I prefer drinks. If we're gonna do anything, let's do just drinks and maybe apps. But coffee, I just don't. I'm not, you have to know me to know I like coffee. I am a coffee drinker, but I'm a coffee in the home drinker. I think, is it that men are just cheap now? The second half of that question. I think you have cheap men, you have cheap women, you have cheap people. People are cheap. I don't think it's indicative of the cheapness of the situation. I don't know. I think if I'm going to not talk to you again after the first date, I don't want you spending a lot of money. Like, I've gone on some dates that are probably like 110 maybe in terms of cost, and I knew somewhere at the end I wasn't gonna be talking to them again. So it was a lovely date, but I mean, if you spend $11 and I knew I wasn't gonna talk to you at the end, how do I feel the difference between you spending $110 versus $11? I don't know. I think I'd be fine with it. I'd be fine with it, but maybe let's not do coffee. Let's do something else. Let's do something not coffee. I think it's up to personal preference. I think that question comes down to personal preference the more I think about it. It's like I wouldn't scoffed at it, but my routine when I was online dating was very much rhythmic. Like we would talk on the app, we'd I think take it off the app and text. And then the night before the first day, I'd always FaceTime them. I always FaceTime. I'm not meeting you for the first time at the place. I need to know who I'm looking for, like not based off some photos I saw on Hinge or Facebook or wherever I saw the photos. I need to see what you look like. I need to see your mouth moving. I need to know I'm meeting with a real person. I send all the contact information over to my mother. Yes, I do. Yes, I did. My mother knew every single date I went on, because me and my mother are that close. So I'll be like, I'm going out with this guy. Here's a photograph. This is where we're going restaurant wise. I will call you on my way home. I'm not playing no games. Safety first. Safety first. So I mean, a lot of my dates were also in the evening times as well. So it'd be post post work, 7, 8, 9 p.m. I'm not drinking no coffee after 9 p.m. I'm trying to be wired. I'm trying to go to sleep. So no, I don't know if I'm a coffee date person, but not from a lack of like I'm judging your pockets. It's from a lack of like, what do we do? I don't know. I don't know. question. I like creative dates. Like, I know I broke it, but there was a time when there was something behind me that me and a date went to the plant house, and I thought that was a very creative date. I mean, it broke. Sorry that broke. But there used to be a little like globe behind me, and we went to the plant house and made little terrariums. That was very cute. That was a very cute idea. I've been to the gun range before, which is very unique. Like, first date, that was the first date. I went to the gun range, and then we went to Cowfish. I don't know if we still have that in Charlotte, but Cowfish was good. I don't know if I give off fun energy. Like, I feel like people be looking at me and like they know they gonna take me somewhere. I love your videos. This was good. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Should I finish the We'll finish it at the end. I love your videos. How old are you, and do you want children? I'm 33. This is my Jesus year, as it should be. And do I want kids? Now, I talked about this on my TikTok maybe a couple weeks ago because I'm at the age I feel like where I need to start making some decisions. Not that there's a time clock on me, but decisions in terms of, do I need to freeze some eggs? Well, do I want them? Do I want to freeze eggs? Do I want the children that the eggs will produce? Like, how do I feel about children? And I said in that TikTok video, I'm very mixed. Like, I'm very, very, very mixed because I think I've always grown up saying I need, I want to be married and I want to have kids. But then I needed to ask the why. Like, do I want to get married and I want to have kids because that's what you're supposed to do? Because I've never been, when I talked to my mom about it, I've never been super, like, I love children. I like being around kids, but I've never been like baby fever. Like, I've never said, "Oh my God, I'm having baby fever." Like, that has not been my vibe. I had to sit down and realize, am I wanting to be a mom because that's what the plan is supposed to be? You're supposed to get married and you're supposed to birth children, raise those children. And I voiced in that video that my concern is for them, not baby them, future them. I'm concerned about the world that they will grow up in 2055, 57, 2090. Like, well, the world that they will live in will look totally different than the world I'm in. And I'm not loving the world as we see it now. I'm talking not just the financial crisis, the mental health, AI taking over all the job, safety being at an all-time low. You can barely go to school now good without being a little frazzled. The world that they live in, will it be hard for them to get jobs? Will it be hard for them? And a lot of people in my comments in that TikTok video were like, you just got to set your child up for the best financials. You got to create financial stability. I say create financial stability. And my issue isn't financial, I guess. My issue isn't financial. I could have a child right now and send him to daycare, and my life wouldn't change that much. I'd have to grind harder. Uploads would be back to 2 times a week. But I'm in a place now where my lifestyle wouldn't change that much if I had to drop, $1,500 a month on childcare. It wouldn't be a bad thing. I would have to change my home, but I have a 401k. I have life insurance policies for non-existent children at this point. I'm in a good place. I have insurance. I could just add some kids on, dependents on. Like, I have things in place where having a child financially wouldn't strain me. However, and I could put things in place to make sure they are good. But how can I put things in place to make sure they're good mentally? Like, the mental health. Money is money, but mental health, are they good? Is social media destroying the landscape of the future where they are looking at, I'm not on trips every week, I'm not doing this? I think social media is just going to get worse and worse and play in people's mind, and again, cause some mental that I can't combat. So I think I'm just concerned about them. I'm just thinking about not baby them and how I would feel holding baby them. I'm concerned about 35-year-old them having to get up and go to work and feeling, what is this? What is the future? Inflation is inflation. Gas is $97 a gallon. Like, I don't know. I'm too in my mind about it, but I am in a phase where this year, when I go to my OBGYN, which I usually go at December time frame, I will talk to her about what I need to do in terms of fertility. And I want to make a decision before the end of my 34th year in terms of if I want egg retrieval or not. And I know that's costly, so it'll digging into that savings, digging in that Barclays account a bit. It's not a decision I want to make lightly because it's a very painful process. I've seen people go through it, the stabbing yourself, stabbing yourself, but I don't do well with needles when other people do it. How am I gonna do that? And the food and diet changes I'm gonna have to do, which I've already done a pretty good job this year of changing my diet based on high blood pressure that is now in me. I now suffer from that, which again is why going back, I'm trying to create pockets of my life where I'm not super all over the place. But health wise, I just want to make sure I'm in the good place so that I can know by the end of the year where I stand and know by this time next year if I'm going to 100% go down the path of egg freezing. Because at the end of the day, I do want to be married. I do want partnership. That, don't get me wrong. I don't want. It's like, do you want kids or do you want marriage? I want marriage. 100% I want marriage. That's not I'm on the fence. I'm not a fence sitter about marriage. I want to be a wife. I want to have a partner to go through life with. I'm a fence sitter when it comes to children. That's where I'm on the fence about right now. You don't have to have kids. I know you do not have to have kids. I don't know, child. We could go on and on. This could be its own video. This could be its own video. I've been talking now for a minute. This could be its own video. The next question was, what's on your bucket list for places you travel to? Definitely Belize, Dubai, Portugal, Spain. And then in the Asia realm, I want to go to Thailand, Japan, China a bit, but I think I just want Japan and Thailand as my top two. Bali, I want to go to. How does Winnie cope when you come home from long trips? I know my Heidi jumps around and stalks. She's used to it. Winnie right now is right beside me. I'm gonna film it on my phone so you guys can see how she is. So what you're seeing right now is a live um of Winnie beside me as I'm filming. She's worn out, and I picked her up. I was supposed to pick her up on Friday, but I picked her up a day early because I got in back a day early. She'll go back next week. But she's kind of just used to it. She knew she had a traveling mama from early on. I let her know pretty early as I was adopting her, like, your mama is either gonna travel for work or travel for fun, but she gonna be traveling. You should come to Columbus, Ohio sometime. It's a vibe out here. I've been to Columbus, Ohio 3 times. 3 times for work. So I have made it to Columbus, and this is the room. Really nice. Not for a career fair, but it was for visiting one of our sites is outside of Columbus. So I flew into Columbus. Now, what we mean by vibe? Let's be a little clear. Let's be a little clear on the vibe. What kind of vibe? What kind of vibe? Because I'm not a party person. I'm not a big going out clubbing person, like at all. At all. That's not. It's a nightmare to me. Having to go out. Usually it's for somebody's birthday. I will bite the bullet if it's for somebody's birthday who wants to go out to a club, but I am not that type on my own. I will not make that decision. I do like drinks. I like brunches. I like eating. I like cities that have eatings, but like for me to these were work trips. These 3 trips were work trips. I think I even vlogged one time when I was like leaving the airport, not my work stuff, but vlogging the getting there and arrival to Columbus. Like I wouldn't even come to Charlotte if I didn't live in Charlotte. I don't think I would come here for a vibe. Like my best friend Sasha, her cousin was coming here for her birthday, and I was like, why? For what? What for? Tell me. Just tell me what's going down. I think for me, when it's travel, I'm either traveling like I liked London. I like history. I like Paris because of the history. I didn't like it as much as I like London, but I like Paris because the history is there. I'm a history buff. I like to know where things came from. I like to know why, what, how, all of this. So I like scenes with destinations and all of that. Chicago, I liked for the history. I like for the food, deep dishes. New York, I'm always gonna love a good New York. But I went to Houston earlier this year, and I liked it, but like it was for work. Would I go there as a solo traveler? What would I do? And that's what I mean. The person who said Columbus, what would I do? Just give me, if you could tell me high level, what would I do if I came on my own without, did a solo trip and I came to Columbus? What would I be doing there? Like, I can't tell you what you'd be doing if you came to Charlotte. And if you're lame like me, what would you be doing? I like my travel. I like Caribbean. I like either being able to lay out on a beach or go walk along a beach, or a beach being a part of it, or I like just going on a tour and being like, wow, this, that, this. I'm in LA. This is LA. This is San Francisco. I'm seeing trolleys. I'm on the trolley right now. The mimosa might be kicking in right now. I need to know what the vibes are. I've been to Columbus 3 times. I've been to Cincinnati 3 times. I don't think I've been to Cleveland. That's the only C in Ohio I've never been to. All have been work related. All 6 of those interactions have been work. I don't know if Talia would have spent the American Airlines money to go there. I had fun. I went to, where we go? We Cincinnati. I went to Morton's. I had Skyline Chili. I had a little, Skyline and all of that. But like, if I'm not a party person and I could go to zoos where I can go to zoos and I know there's like things, but what would I be doing? Just give me like a rough draft of what I would be doing. And then maybe I'll go. Maybe I'll go on my own to Columbus and see what the vibe is vibing. But my wine is gone. That means the time is up on this chit chat. I think this was fun for me. I like this. Wouldn't have gotten it done any other way. The chit chat makeup tutorial would have been a mess. But a bit of mess. But this was fun. This was awesome. Is there anything else you want to know? Leave it down below. I'm happy to answer. As well as I want you to give this video a big thumbs up because we want all the love and support over here. We want you to give it a big thumbs up even if you didn't enjoy it. We don't want no haters. After I done spoke for about an hour, we don't want no haters. We also want you to subscribe so you don't miss anything that I do over here. Have that notification bell on. So again, you're notified. Make sure that you're following me on Instagram so you can ask me a question. If you didn't this time because you're not following me there, follow me there so you could ask me the next time. And follow me on TikTok at Lia Lavon to keep up with my shenanigans in real time. And I'll see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.